All right.
Okay.
All right. Hey, good afternoon. Doug Kristen with Deep Dive Real Estate and Nestlewood Realty. And I am joined today with a special guest, Mariella Russo. Mm-hmm. Yep. And we are here in the model unit at Meritage Community. It is the Harper Landing community in Stanley.
Yep.
I'd like to say it's about 10 minutes outside of Uptown Charlotte, but it's more like 26, 27?
25.
25?
Okay. Yep.
All right. Yeah. Yep. So one of the things that I have always been a huge fan of is new construction. Especially as a first-time home buyer or any buyer, right? The easeability of buying a brand new property, not having to worry about HVAC or components or roof or whatever it might be. And if something does happen, then we rely on the builder. Mm-hmm. So while I personally own a Meritage home, and I believe you do as well.
I do.
Yep. So we live and breathe it. And then a couple of the agents on our team at Nestlewood actually own Meritage Homes as well. One of those is Drake Dole, who will be joining us later today. But what I wanted to do is I want to bring Mariella in and we could talk a little bit about, she's extremely nervous today, guys. This is her very first time ever being on camera. She doesn't even own a phone. No, I'm just kidding. So yes. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about why choose new construction over resale. Now, again, there's obviously some facts that we just would know, right? Or the reasons why, but you've been in new construction for how long?
8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been with, I think you said since 2021 with Meritage.
Yeah, so it's been 4 years.
Okay.
Meritage Homes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And so give us a little bit of the insight as to you as someone who works for Meritage, mm-hmm. right? Like not just why Meritage, we'll get into that here in just a little bit, and what sets Meritage apart from some of the other companies. We won't mention any names.
Yeah.
And why new construction? Tell us why you feel it would be better for a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, I think that new construction is the easiest barrier to entry for a first-time home buyer for a few reasons. The first one being the incentives. Right now, we're offering up to $25,000 in closing cost assistance on all of our homes. What that's going to do is cover all of your closing costs, which can be about $10,000 to $12,000 on top of the down payment that you're bringing to closing, plus buy your interest rate down. So right now we have rates as low as 4.875 on a 5-year ARM. Okay. You can't really get that in the resale world. You're looking at like a 7% in resale?
Yeah. Anywhere from 6.5 to 7.125. So just to kind of quickly interject on that, if you're a first-time home buyer, or you're a buyer who is like, gosh, I really want to buy that $350,000 or that $400,000 house. However, you can't get approved for it. Well, a lot of that boils down to your debt to income ratio that we've talked about before. If you, instead of a 7% interest rate, you're able to get 4.875%, mm-hmm. It's like you being able to qualify for a $450,000 house, not a $350,000 house. And so when you talk about incentives of $20,000, $25,000 of being able to buy the interest rate down, get to 4.875, and not to have to come out of pocket your closing costs, theoretically, if you're doing an FHA loan and you're buying a $350,000 house, you really are only going to need about $12,000 to $15,000 total to be able to get into the home, not even have 2 monthly payments, and get a mortgage payment that is well within the budget that you want. So,
yeah. So you're only coming to closing with your down payment. All of our homes come included with a fridge, washer, dryer, blinds. So there's really not much out-of-pocket cost. And then once you move into the home, we have a warranty. So if anything should go wrong, it's going to be covered by the builder. So when you move into a new construction home, you don't have to worry about, well, what happens if the HVAC goes out? What happens if I get a roof leak? All that's going to be covered by the builder. So you don't have all of those out-of-pocket expenses that you would have with a resale home.
Got it.
Yeah.
And definitely eliminates a lot of the negotiation side of one of the most challenging parts that we have as real estate professionals and real estate agents is as we go through the negotiation process, mm-hmm. There's a lot of emotions involved. And I always tell new agents in this business, the most challenging part of our business is separating the emotion from the transaction. Mm-hmm. And that's easier said than done, right? Meritage, while they own these homes, they don't have an emotional attachment to the property. They have an emotional attachment to the bottom line and the paycheck.
Right.
And so it is in their best interest to sell homes, right? There's not, oh my God, my kids grew up in this home.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? So, with that being said, not only are you getting a brand new home, but you are getting the ability to speak directly to someone that can give you an answer on negotiating, and you know what you're going to be getting right away. We're literally texting right now about possibly negotiating a transaction. Easy. Don't have to worry about filling out some formal form to try to go through this. And I mean, with a lot of these communities that Meritage has, whether it's here in Stanley at Harper Landing, whether it is the community in Monroe, Shelby,
Charlotte, townhomes at Galloway Ridge. We have tons of homes in Mooresville. We're in Hickory, Newton. We're all over the place.
Got it. So really, anywhere within 100 miles of Charlotte, like you can be. Yeah. And that's another thing, price point wise, right? If you want to live in Charlotte proper and you want a brand new construction home, I mean, you're anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million plus, right? And if you're okay with driving 15 to 20, 25 minutes, you're able to be in a home like this. What is this model we're in now?
The Chatham model, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,700 square feet.
And what's the price on this?
About $440.
$440. So 2,700 square feet, 5 bedroom, 3 full bath? Yeah. I think it's got a bedroom down.
Bedroom down, and a full bathroom on the first floor,
And a full bathroom on the first floor, So, I mean, where else can you get something like that? Not to mention, if you are a realtor and you're watching this, highly take care of the realtors as well, right?
You always pay 3% buyer's agent commission. We have a lot of bonuses out there as well for agents. They vary every month, but they're usually out there.
Awesome. So, all right, so we've talked a little bit about new construction itself. What sets Meritage apart on the building side from some of the other builders? So energy efficiency is kind of Meritage Homes' claim to fame. It's what makes us so different from other builders. So the main way that we achieve that is we use spray foam insulation on all the exterior walls and through the attic of every single house we build. No other production builder is doing that. That's typically something that only custom homes do. What that does is it seals your house in really, really tight, like a Yeti cooler or refrigerator. The main thing that achieves is it should cut your energy bills back by about in half. When I lived in a Meritage home, my electric bill was never more than $100 in the middle of the summer. But it also helps keep consistent temperatures throughout your home. So the second floor should never be warmer than the first floor. You have conditioned attic space. Your attic should never be more than 10 degrees warmer than the rest of the home. It's also 3,000 times noise canceling from the outside in. So if you have construction going on around you or you live near a busy street, you really can't hear that from the inside pretty much at all. Now, when your house is sealed in like that, it does need to breathe more than the average home. So we do have an advanced air filtration system that we use in every home we build, but we're always bringing in fresh air from the outside. We filter it 2 times through this fancy filter, and then you should have hospital quality air throughout your home at all times. So it filters out airborne allergens, pollen, dust, viruses, bacteria, and you should have a healthier home as well. Awesome. So one of the things that I love, and I know a lot of the people that live in a Meritage home is all of us who own homes, and we have our returns that none of us replace the return in the home filter the way we're supposed to, or we put in that fancy expensive return and it burns our system up. Meritage New Construction actually has a furnace system that is built so that the filter is actually built into the furnace itself. Realistically, I mean, if it's done correctly, once or twice a year, you go in, you clean it out, maybe replace it once. Again, it's that saving of $10 to $15, $20 a month, or cutting your electrical bill in the middle of summer instead of being $300 a month to maybe $150 or maybe less, right? So not only are we talking about saving 2 percentage points, not 2 basis points in a loan, but 2 percentage points. Cutting your monthly mortgage payment by $200 to $300, cutting your interest rates, cutting your electric costs. I mean, there's so many factors that come in with that. Locations, right? I mean, I think we were talking before, I mean, there's like 10 to 15 locations around the area that you guys have communities in, right? If a buyer was to come today, hey, you know what, Mariella, I've got to be in a home in 3 weeks. Realistically, if the property is built, is that something that is possible for them? Yeah,
absolutely. So that's something else that we've recently started doing is we actually have what we call a 60-day closing guarantee, where most of our homes can close in 30 days or less, but we actually will guarantee you that if a construction delay happens that pushes you out of 60 days, we will reimburse you up to $5,000 for moving expenses, because that's how confident we are that we'll be able to get you into a house quickly.
Or if there's a water line issue and you guys have to, it takes 3 months.
That would be considered a construction delay. Yes.
So I personally actually had a construction delay, and I will tell you flat out, Meritage stepped up. We were supposed to close on the property, a couple years ago that we bought in January, and unfortunately, I think it was April.
Yeah, way to bring it up.
I know. However, the company stepped up.
We did.
And accepted full responsibility and actually compensated me about $15,000. And I mean, it's not that it happens often because the company doesn't want to do that. They offered me the opportunity to walk away, and they said, if not, and we still want to earn your business, here's what we're willing to do for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's downsides, but people realize that, hey, things could come up. But the fact that Meritage stepped up and said, hey, we're going to take care of you was probably the biggest thing. That when, Marcia called me like, oh my God, what are we going to say? And then Jimmy called me. And that was the vice president at the time called, the individual, borrower to walk them through, hey, we accept responsibility for this and we want to do this. So there's so many factors. I'm going to sit here and go on and on about why I feel that, Meritage is such a great company, offers so many great benefits in homeownership. As far as you individually, right, before we wrap up today, if a potential buyer was looking between Meritage and possibly two other, communities, what would you recommend? Because you've been doing this now for a long time.
Yeah.
And maybe they are considering another community versus here and the same locations or whatever it may be. What would you recommend them to look out for at maybe another community that Meritage could separate themselves? Not just the spray foam insulation, but is there anything specific that you'd say, hey, you're laughing, other than coming to meet you or any of the other great team, is there something you'd say, hey, that really says, hey, this is why I'm with this company. This is why I work here.
Yeah, I'd say what you were saying earlier, Meritage always does what's right for the customer. We're always looking out for the customer, and we're always looking out for the realtor too. We consider the realtor as part of our buyer as well. So I would say, if you run into those situations that nobody wants to see, but they do happen, where you do have a delay, just know that you are going to be taken care of with Meritage Homes. We always do what we think is fair and what we think is right. And on top of that, we build a really great house, a lot better than all of our competitors, and we have amazing energy efficiency and an amazing sales team.
Yeah, I would disagree with that.
Yeah.
And I'll piggyback off that. I recently had a situation, had a client purchasing a home with another new construction builder. Some things had come up which delayed him on his financing side. And in that period of time, his property that he was under contract for $380, the unit directly next door, they had a special and they listed it for $349.
Okay.
And obviously at that point, the buyer's like, hey, I really feel like I'm about to be, at $30,000 in the hole. And that builder said, sorry, you signed the contract. We're holding you to it.
Yeah.
And at that point, he made the choice to walk away. And that was really an unfortunate situation. Things happen. In all of the years, I'd say, last year between the Vineyards, Gallery Ridge, and other communities, I mean, we've probably done, 10, 12, 15 deals together over the last couple of years, right? I've never had a situation where Meritage didn't step up and do the right thing for the buyer, for the future homeowner. And that's why I'm sitting here today. That's why we at Nestlewood put our signs in the yards in these communities, because we are willing to represent this company. So again, thanks so much for tuning in. Mariella, thank you for your time. You did great, by the way. Yeah, now you're excited. Like, hey, we'll do this every week now.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, send us a DM. Let us know if you're looking for amazing 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom homes.
Or
5. That's right. We've got a few here in the community. I think even some of those that we have on Paddlewell, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. They're like 1,800 square feet, or what, as low as $359.
You have a 1-story home that is about 1,550 square feet for $359, and then you have a 2-story home that's 1,830 square feet for, I believe, $379.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, where else can you go and get new construction and get these benefits and possibly even get 4.875% interest? So thanks so much for tuning in. Again, Doug Kristen,
Mariella
Russo, Deep Dive Real Estate, Nestlewood Realty, and look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.
Thank you. Good.
High five.
Is it good?
Yeah,
okay.
good. Yeah.